swear. I told Tank. Tank know what's up. You know what I mean? He know what he up against when he fights Shakur or Keyshawn. You know what I mean? He want to fight these guys that everybody in the world know they ain't gonna give him no fight. They not mentally there.
After Keyshawn defeated Dennis Binnick, we knew people in the boxing world would start talking. The person speaking the most is Terence Crawford, a close friend of Keyshawn. Recently, Crawford posted on X telling Gervonta Davis to stop being scared and fight
Shakur Stevenson and Keyshawn Davis.
Hey Shakur, like I was telling Bud, it's either you or Keyshaw's gonna get tanked, so the walls are closing in. So awesome.
It's gonna be him though.
It makes sense.
Everyone knows that Shakur and Keyshawn are close to Crawford, so fans think Crawford is trying to push Tank into these fights by challenging his pride. But it seems like Crawford is just promoting the fights instead of making a real challenge. Gervonta Davis is a good fighter, but Tank isn't paying attention to him for a reason. He hasn't made a big name for himself in boxing, and his fights against Miguel Madueño and Nahir Albright weren't impressive. And don't forget, the toughest opponent is still. Cruz has already beaten Keyshawn 4 times as an amateur and even embarrassed him at the 2020 Olympics.
I was fighting before I had gloves on. You know what I'm saying? And, I've been in the ring with Tank twice already, sparring him. You know what I'm saying? And, if he wasn't the top dog and somebody else was the top dog, I'd be calling that person out. But since he's the top dog, I'm calling you out because I know I can whoop your ass.
If Keyshawn couldn't beat the guy who dominated him, why would Tank waste his time fighting him? Tank isn't here to do favors just to help Crawford's friend. If Crawford wants Keyshawn to be a star, he should have him fight Cruz again and prove himself. Until then, Keyshawn isn't on Tank's level. It looks like the real reason Crawford is going after Gervonta is because of a recent post from Tank. Tank had
I would love to fight the face of boxing in the 135 division. I would love to fight light skin, but I just don't. You know who it is. I just think he don't got the balls to fight me. Our characters
already called out Crawford on X, saying, "Do you really think Crawford is chasing greatness? He's not. He just needs to do this to make good money." Tank's comment hit Crawford where it hurts, his legacy. Crawford has been saying that moving up 2 weight classes to fight Canelo Alvarez is about proving his greatness, but Tank doesn't believe it. He thinks Crawford isn't chasing a legacy. He's chasing a big payday. And honestly, the Canelo fight looks more like a big money deal in Saudi Arabia than a real challenge. If Crawford truly cared about his legacy, why not first move up to 168 and prove himself? Skipping straight to Canelo seems more about money than greatness. But Crawford didn't stop there. In one of his most intense attacks, he said, "Tank, I've got bigger things to focus on. Grow some courage and fight Shakur Stevenson."
He's going to be a great fighter.
He's calling for Tank. Now,
he beats Tank.
Yeah, you think so?
Keyshawn Davis beats Tank, in my opinion.
Stevenson or Gervonta Davis, stop being scared. Maybe that's why you ran over your girl and beat her, because you have no guts, and she knows it. That wasn't just a challenge, it was a personal attack. Bringing up Tank's past like that crosses the line and turns a boxing rivalry into something much more serious. If Crawford thought this would pressure Tank into a fight, he clearly doesn't understand him. All it did was make things even more. Let's be real. Crawford's frustration might also be about his pay-per-view numbers. His last fight against Israel Madouev reportedly sold...
This new guy, he's 140 pounds. He's not bad.
Yeah.
Keyshawn Davis. That's him right.
Only 75,000 to 100,000 buys, which is pretty bad for someone considered one of the best fighters. Crawford has never been a pay-per-view star like Tank. When Tank fights, he guarantees big sales and packed arenas. Crawford doesn't. And as for Tank fighting Shakur Stevenson, don't count on it. Shakur might be undefeated, but fans don't find him exciting. People have called him boring more times than anyone can count. Tank, on the other hand, is a showman. He brings knockouts, excitement, and a personality that sells. Shakur, on the other hand, is the kind of fighter who could put casual fans to sleep.
It's two 135 division champions that I would love to fight, you know, but if they got the guts to step in the ring with the businessman, tell them send me a contract or I send him one.
From a promotional angle, Tank would be doing all the work. Why would he take a fight where he carries all the weight? For some reason, Eddie Hearn thinks he can turn Shakur into a global star. But good luck with that. Maybe Shakur could get some fans in the UK, but in the US, where entertainment matters just as much as skill, he doesn't stand a chance. In America, talent alone isn't enough. You need charisma, excitement, and that special it factor. Shakur just doesn't have it, and Hearn's track record of overhyping fighters who flop speaks for itself.
I mean, you gotta ask him those type questions. Like, at this point, like, y'all can't ask me those questions. I'm not in a position to send him a contract. I'm not in a position to be like, yo, I'm fighting him this year. I'm not in that position yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop asking me those questions. All respect, you know what I'm saying?
No, you good.
And for every interviewer that's gonna watch this, don't ask me that question no more. Ask him that question. When are we gonna fight?
Boxing in the US is a whole different game. Look at the UK's biggest stars: Tyson, Fury, Anthony Joshua, Conor Benn, and Chris Eubank Jr. They might be huge names over there, but they wouldn't have the same star power in the US. Making it big here takes more than just skill. You need personality and showmanship. And Tank has both. At the end of the day, Crawford's shots at Gervonta Davis are just that: jabs. He's trying to stir up drama, but Tank isn't interested in playing along. Tank knows his value, and he's not going to let Crawford's fighters build their names off him. If Crawford wants attention, he should focus on his own fights instead of dragging Tank into his circle of protégés. Whether this is about legacy, money, or pride, the feud between Crawford and Tank is only heating up. But if Crawford thinks he can pressure Tank into a fight with trash talk, he might want to rethink his strategy. Tank isn't scared, he's just smart. And until Crawford's fighters prove they deserve a shot, all the talk in the world won't make it happen. That being said, Keyshawn Davis made a big statement on Valentine's Day with his knockout win over Dennis Baroni. His fourth-round KO not only secured his spot as the WBO lightweight mandatory challenger, but also reignited his push for a fight with Tank. After the win, Keyshawn didn't hold back. He grabbed the mic and called out Tank directly, "Hey, Tank, knock, knock. It was a challenge no..."
Title's definitely gonna be next. 2025, we got big plans for everybody in the boxing world. Hey, Gervonta, knock, knock.
This challenge wasn't just talk. It was the result of years of tension between the two lightweights. Their rivalry, which has played out on social media and in interviews, has gotten more and more personal. Keyshawn's trainer Brian Bomac McIntyre has been outspoken about his belief that Keyshawn is the one who will end Tank's reign as WBA lightweight champion. "Gervonta is tailor-made for Keyshawn," McIntyre confidently said. "This fight will play out just like Terence Crawford's destruction of Errol Spence. It's a bold comparison, but Keyshawn isn't backing down." He agreed, with his trainer saying, "I see myself putting the same kind of beating on Gervonta as Terence did." His words were full.
Keyshawn the one that can crack their Gervonta code?
Gervonta can be beat easily, man.
Ooh.
Yeah, we hear you say he could be beat easily. Why?
Yeah, he could be beat easily because he's just a basic type of dude.
Keyshawn believes his youth, intelligence, and power make him a nightmare for Gervonta. "I'm smarter than him inside and outside the ring. Period," he said confidently. For Keyshawn, this isn't just talk, it's backed by his performances. His recent win over Baron Sheik, who had beaten super featherweight legend Emmanuel Navarrete to claim the WBO title, was a huge achievement. Baron Sheik, an Olympic silver medalist, had skill and experience, making him Keyshawn's toughest opponent. Yet. But Keyshawn handled the challenge with ease. His confidence doesn't just come from his recent success. It goes back to his sparring sessions with Gervonta during his amateur days. The first time I sparred him, I was 16. The second time, I was 21 right before the Olympics, Keyshawn shared. Those were competitive sessions. I wasn't thinking about fighting him back then, but I knew I had the talent to compete at a high level. Keyshawn's natural ability has been clear from the start. Even before turning pro or making the Olympic team, people saw his potential. "I've always been good. People would say, "Damn, you've got it, Keyshawn. I didn't just show up one day. I've had talent since day one." Despite being younger and less experienced than veterans like Tank,
He act like he couldn't get a lot of people in the ring, right? Why didn't he try to get a Edwin De Los Santos? Why wouldn't that be the fight that you want? Since you want to talk bad about me, fight somebody that I fought. Go ahead. And you talk bad about my performance during it, so go outperform me.
Keyshawn
Crawford didn't waste a breath.
Knockout power.
He wanted Davis in the ring.
Power that has
Any
made Tank
anticipation
one of the
building?
most feared fighters
Picture the
in
chaos
boxing.
that could unfold.
But he insists.
But hold
that
on.
Fans
Let me
haven't
walk you
seen
through it step
everything
by
he
step.
can do yet. I've got one-punch power, but I've only had 12 fights, and I've only been fighting at an elite level for 3 years. You don't even know what I'm fully capable of yet, he said. Keyshawn's rise has been fast, and he isn't slowing down. His next fight against Baron Cheek is expected to be another statement performance. While Baron Cheek is a tough opponent, with an Olympic silver medal and a WBO title to his name, Keyshawn is confident he'll come out on top. Baron Cheek is going to give it everything he's got, Keyshawn said, but it won't be enough. He's 36 years old, and after the beating, I'm going to give him. It's over for...
How can you... All that's just okay. How can you stop people that can actually hit? No matter all that boxing, you're going to get hit.
The Ukrainian's toughness and experience will likely test Keyshawn. But that's exactly the kind of challenge the rising American star wants. He's going to make this fight as hard as he can for me, Keyshawn said. But I'm ready for anything he throws at me. The fight is expected to be exciting, and Keyshawn is determined to prove he's the best. But his real focus is on Gervonta Davis. His trash talk and call-outs aren't just for fun. They're part of his plan to get the fight. Keyshawn knows that facing Tank would be a huge event and a big moment in his career. This fight has been building up for a long time. Now is the right time to make it happen, he said. Tank, however, hasn't responded quickly. He's known for his knockout power and flashy style, making him one of...
It was fun, I ain't gonna lie, because I like a dude that ain't scared of me, too. You know what I'm saying? Because niggas be scared. I ain't sugarcoat. You know what I'm saying? Niggas be scared in there, you feel me? That's why I love sparring.
Boxing's biggest stars, but some critics, including Keyshawn, doubt whether he's willing to face the toughest opponents. Keyshawn's challenge and rapid rise in boxing could be a real threat to Tank's spot at the top. Gervonta has fought many tough opponents in his career, but Keyshawn is a different kind of challenge. A young, hungry fighter with something to prove. If they face off, it wouldn't just be a fight. It would be a battle of skill, power, and determination. But Keyshawn doesn't think it would be a close fight. He's got one punch, he said. That's it. Better at everything else. It's a bold claim, but after his recent performances, it's hard to ignore. His win over Baron Cheek wasn't just another victory. It was a statement. Thus, house. Lightweight division is full of talent, but Keyshawn's rise has been faster than most. His confidence, skill, and fearless attitude have made him a fan favorite. Now, with his sights set on Gervonta Davis, the stage is set for what could be one of the most exciting fights in recent history. Whether Tank accepts the challenge or not, one thing is...
Said he's now the new face of boxing. What do you think?
For sure, he's the face of boxing. I don't have no problem with saying that. You know what I'm saying? Like, he deserves everything that's coming to him. He's the face of boxing for sure.
And he's that guy. You talked about how good Shakur is.
It's clear. Keyshawn Davis isn't backing down. He's more determined than ever to prove he's the future of the lightweight division. Interview 14. Bob Arum's faith in Keyshawn Davis is a big deal. For years, Arum has been a key figure in boxing, recognizing top talent before anyone
Pure
else.
fireworks.
His high
Crawford
praise
didn't
for
waste a
Keyshawn,
breath.
ranking
He
him
wanted
above
Davis in the
Gervonta
ring.
Davis,
Any
Shakur
anticipation
Stevenson,
building?
and Vasily
Picture the
Lomachenko.
chaos that could unfold.
Shows how much he believes
But hold
in
on.
the young fighter.
Let me walk you through it step by step.
Lomachenko was once dominant
In a press
the
conference
featherweight
that
and
felt like a
junior
heavyweight title match in
divisions,
itself,
but has
Crawford locks eyes
struggled
with
at
Davis,
lightweight.
potential blockbuster
So when Arum
matchup that has
says
the...
I thought he was a tremendous talent. I still think he is. And I think he'll beat any lightweight with the possible exception of Keyshawn Davis.
That's a fight we probably will never see, huh?
That's neither guy wants to.
Keyshawn is already better than the experienced Ukrainian. It means something. With his Olympic background and fast rise in the pro ranks, Keyshawn is a serious contender. And Aram isn't the only one who thinks the lightweight division's champions should be paying attention. Interview 15. Keyshawn's fight against Dennis Baroni wasn't just another title match. It was a career-defining moment. It was a statement win that showed his true potential. Baroni was known for his toughness and slick boxing skills. He had won the WBO title by beating Emmanuel.
With you being a world champion now, how big of a fight is is Davis versus Davis?
Shit, y'all tell me.
Big fight. Hey, Keyshawn, question. Do you feel like you put the 135-pound division on notice tonight?
I feel like they was already on notice, but now that I'm a world champion, they can't deny me now.
Emmanuel Navarrete, a long-reigning champion, and his Olympic silver medal proved he was one of the top technical fighters. Many thought he would be Keyshawn's biggest challenge yet, but Keyshawn didn't just pass the test. He dominated, knocking Baroni out in the 4th round. The win silenced doubters and proved that Keyshawn is ready to face the best in the division, and the intense build-up to the fight only made things more heated. Keyshawn accused Baroni's team of racism, sparking a major controversy.
Shakur, before you go?
Why do you think about retiring?
For what? Who have Shakur? What have Shakur done? What have he done in the sport? He haven't done nothing. The young one is looking more better than him. The Keyshawn. Keyshawn looking way more better than this. I keep screaming this nigga name. He haven't done nothing. Keyshawn haven't even done nothing.
The tension wasn't just in the media. It showed at the weigh-ins and face-offs, making the fight even more personal. Teofimo Lopez, known for speaking his mind, added to the drama with his own controversial comments, making things even more chaotic. All of this tension boiled over in the ring, where Keyshawn turned his anger into a powerful performance, one that Gervonta Davis talking about retirement, or at least considering it, makes Keyshawn's win even more important. Tank has been one of boxing's biggest stars, but his recent comments have left fans wondering about his future. At first, he said he planned to retire.
Now, on the flip side, you got Gervonta Tank Davis, who just KO'd Frank Martin. Frank Martin had similar amount of fights as Keyshawn Davis has. What they did with after
by the end of 2025, but later interviews made it seem less certain. He's expressed frustration with the sport, saying titles and belts don't matter to him anymore. Instead, he's more focused on his financial future and spending time with his family. With Tank feeling disconnected from boxing and wanting to stay out of the spotlight, many are questioning how many more fights he has left.
Coattail, like, bro, I don't need you. I don't have to fight you. I'm making real. I don't need you, bro. If you want to fight me, send me a contract, but if you don't, I'm going to be just as popular fighting you or not fighting you.
In a recent podcast with rapper Lil Yachty, Gervonta Davis admitted he's rethinking retirement. Instead of quitting for good, he's now considering taking a break to focus on personal growth. "I want to get myself together," he said. "There's stuff I need to work on, like being there for my kids, going to school, and becoming a better person." His words show a man caught between his success in boxing and his desire for a life beyond the sport. At a press conference before his fight with Lamont Roach, Gervonta Davis didn't hide his frustration. "It's over after this year. This is trash, garbage, I'm out," he said. His frustration isn't just with boxing itself, but also with the lifestyle that comes.
I would prefer Tank Davis, the top guy. I would go for the top guy. If I could choose, I would choose Tank Davis.